Okay, so I don't want to beat around the bush with this. I am in a rather dire strait. You see, I have been playing on the official Iskall Vault Hunter servers. Shout out to Helium Boys. But more than that, I have been running into a series of roadblocks concerning videos on my channel. One, the video episode 2 of Vault Hunters solo is not done, not by a long shot. And I am running into a terrible problem because the recording software that I use to record footage within the vault is not working whenever it was working before. So that put me back several days. I still have the regular first person footage, and I'm probably going to end up having to use that because I can't exactly rerun my first vault and get my reactions. But it's not going to look as good as I wanted to, and that's kind of been a little discouraging. So I picked up another game. I picked up Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and I was going to do like a first impressions, first 3 hours look at Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and I can't because for some ungodly reason, my $2,500 RTX 3060 behemoth of a computer that I spent a lot of time, effort, sweat, and tears and stress on cannot record. It looks like it's dropping to like 24 frames per second. It's bad, like maybe even 20 frames per second. And I, in good consciousness, could not put that out as content because I know what the game actually looks like. And whenever you're dropping frames, it's just awful. Also, in case you're wondering what this long walk is about, I'm looking for a Soul Sand Valley that would have a Nether Fortress in it, and I am currently 12,000 blocks away from my starting position, so that's neat. Um, so I wanted to have a video out by Monday. I'm going to have the Vault Hunters video up by Thursday, but I wanted to have something on Monday just to keep with my upload schedule as things have been so far, especially with the podcast kind of being on semi hiatus. So I wanted to talk a minute about something that I had tried to do for a very long time in the past. I was originally working, I think this was back in 1.16, might have even been back in 1.12. I had this idea. I wanted to create a labyrinth. I wanted to create a single player experience that was one room that you had to solve a puzzle to get through, and then you could get to the next room, and each of the room had like doors behind them, and you could only get through them with specific keys. And it was supposed to be a survival. It was supposed to be a survival map. And if you played with multiple player, you could, but it was meant to be a hard challenge for people in single player. And there was each room was different. Each room was represented by like different kind of biome, different kind of structure. There was custom structures going on inside that as well. There was hidden treasures you could find. There were spawners that spawned custom mobs and all of that. And I even was able to get someone to make a mod for me. That was basically doors that were unbreakable, unmineable, surrounding blocks of doors that were unbreakable and unmineable, in all the different colors with corresponding keys and corresponding locks. And I just, between life and COVID and everything else going on, I never got to, you know, push through. And if you're listening to all that and you're thinking, wow, that sounds an awful lot like Vault Hunters, yes, it's an awful lot like Vault Hunters. I had this idea back in like 2018. I had never heard of Vault Hunters back then. I barely even knew Iskall was a content creator back then. I didn't know that he streamed. I didn't know that there was a season 2. I didn't know there I didn't know there was a season 1 of Vault Hunters with this mod pack. And the thing is, I also run another server, mostly for some friends of mine who are all content creators, VTubers, that kind of stuff. And the idea that I pitched to them, something that I wanted to do, I'd found a way with command blocks to have you step on a portal, you get sent to an alternate dimension, and you have a timer ticking down while you are inside of this world. You can mine as much as you can, you can grab as much stuff as you can, and you can explore as much as you can, but when the timer got out, you either died or you got sent back to the beginning. And that was the whole point of the server was it was normal overworld, but then there was this custom floating island dimension that just allowed you to do so much more. And again, I know how much that sounds like Vault Hunters. I had no idea that Vault Hunters was a thing. And I effectively came up with something that was an almost exact, like, definitely a poorly sketched out clone of Vault Hunters. And when a friend of mine recommended to me, hey, you should go check out Captain Sparkles, he is doing a series on something called Vault Hunters. And I looked into it, and then I traced it back. I was like, oh, hey, Iskall 85. I didn't know that he was part of this as well. Didn't know he was the developer, the lead for it. And I'm sitting here and I'm wondering what other ideas are out there that someone else has already done because I love Vault Hunters. I honestly do. It is one of the coolest, most extravagant experiences I've ever seen. I literally do not see myself like long term playing another mod pack or even following Minecraft updates. I love this game. I love the grind, I love the risk, I love the reward, I love the community of people who are I mean, I haven't even been on this game for like 2 weeks, and I already know that I enjoy hanging with these people. The other people who are on the Helium server, they're great. And this is by no means a plug to go and like follow Iskall or subscribe to him, although you absolutely should. It's just I don't know. I wanted to get this pent up, I don't know, creative thought off my chest because in another world, what would I have made been like if I'd have had a little more push, if I'd have had a little more um, people behind me, if I'd have had anyone behind me in that regard, what could I have accomplished? And this isn't me complaining, like, oh, I don't ever have anybody, and oh, I'm struggling. It's like, it's the grind. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not that worried about it, honestly. I'm just curious. I'm just curious because now that this exists, I have no real need or reason to make what I'm working on because this is it. This is that dream fully realized. This is that what I have in my mind's eye, this is it. It exists. And I don't it's not that I think that what I would have made was bad. It's just I know that this is better. And due to the similarities, I know it would be compared to. And if anybody else was to look at the project, I would tell them to go to Vault Hunters first. I don't know. I don't know. I just I'm very grateful that this game exists. And Iskall, if you ever happen to maybe see this, I just want to say to you and your team, thank you. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for following a passion. Thank you for creating this. And I guess that's it. Nothing really else to say, but thank you.